Howdy y'all, you got the Bulldog on the channel. One of the most difficult things that we deal with as mechanics, besides all the computers and the electrical diagnosis and all that kind of stuff, every time I am in a different position, I see things. We're gonna have to fix that door. Okay, now that I have chased off the squirrel, this Toyota is here for suspension noises. Driving around in the parking lot. Two different noises. First one, I'm pretty sure we diagnosed. Just a click, 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 a little light click in the front end. I don't find anything wrong with the suspension, but the hood was loose. Somebody had been playing around with it, and those little rubber bumpers up in the front corners of the hoods, they've screwed them all the way down. The hood was a little bit too low. That means that the latch wasn't tight, so the hood was tick, 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 tick. I backed them deals up and shut the hood a few times, got it adjusted to where it's the right height. That means there was tension on the latch, and that means it quit rattling. I'm from the future. Here are these adjustments that I was going to show you. They were screwed all the way down. And what they do, you got the latch in the center that latches it, and these line it up to the fender. The latch has nothing to do with really lining it up to the fenders. Now this thing is level. It was a 1/4 inch down over here, and even more down over here. And that was the little rattle up front that I heard one time, but it was just enough for me to know what it sounded like. Now the second one is a pretty loud clank from the rear end. And here's what I found. I got my tools on it because I was going to try to tighten it up, because it could be a bad bushing, but that kind of stuff. Now this is undisturbed. There was no marks on this bolt where somebody had messed with it. But I think that the bolt is loose. I think the bolt is loose, and it's moving back and forth and moving around on the bushing. The obvious things that the bushing's bad, but usually those don't click, they thump. I hear an audible click like it's hitting metal back and forth. I think that the bolt was just left loose, and if I tighten it down, it'll squeeze it onto the bushing. Let's find out. Quit falling. I should not be able to turn that. Okay. You're slipping. Oh, come on. Spit it clear to the other side of the vehicle. Okay. Try this again. Does not want to tighten up. Well, I don't know. It acts like that is tight. I should not be able to rotate that bolt. Well, I got the bolt out. I don't see anything wrong anywhere, but it's been working around inside. Bolt just ran down to a certain point and was never tightened up. So it just seized in that spot. I had to get a breaker bar to it because my impact wouldn't even touch it. I'm gonna clean this up and, you know, lubricate the threads and tighten it down and see if that takes care of it. Bolt is cleaned and lubricated. I run the nut down on there and it ran on just fine. You might wonder why I'm working on the ground. I want this to be lined up at ride height when I tighten it up. If I pick it up in the air, it's going to put a strain on it, and then I would have to put it back down in order to tighten it. It's easier just to leave it on the ground. Come on, get on there. Come on, there. Many ooga doogas later. No more clickety clack. So something as simple as tightening a bolt doesn't actually end up being that simple, but it's still simple. Take it out, clean it up, lubricate it, put it together, make sure it's tight. And now I cannot rotate the bolt anymore. Somebody has had this loose at some point, maybe doing an alignment. I mean, it does not look disturbed. He's had this vehicle for a while. Something happened. There's no obvious marks on the bolt before I started where it had been taken loose. But it was probably half a thread loose, maybe a full thread loose. And those things spread out and it just started rattling. This is why even the simplest things can be not so simple sometimes. But we'll take this thing out and drive it and make sure that it's good. Spinning circles out in our obstacle course. We just need, you know, a test track for drivability noises. It's not the fact that asphalt work and run into the 5 figures for a single lane. No, that's has nothing to do with why we don't have a big old parking lot out here. Okay, we're gonna call that good. 2 different noises, one of them dangerous, one of them just annoying. And there was no real risk of that coming apart up there or back area in the back. But it would have, you know, worn some stuff and could potentially take out the bushing, but not really. Over the life of the vehicle it would take, and then by that time it's ready to go anyway. But it's really, really annoying. And if you have something else going bad and you think it's just that loose bushing, then you can end up with problems. So take care of those noises and they don't gather, just like this one where we had 2 of them totally unrelated. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the little bell notification, share it all around. We'll talk to you later.